Hello and welcome to Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I am Lotro's Community Manager, Cordovan, and I'll be with you for the next hour, hanging out, having some fun, checking out some Azanulbizar, and give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on, both inside of the studio, inside of the game, and what have you. Some time for your Q&A today, and yeah, this is the first show I've done in a while. It's been a couple of weeks. I was on vacation, and then I had a thing I had to do last Friday, kind of a community commitment that I could not avoid. So there we go. So it's the first time I've been back for a little while. Thankfully, I actually took the time off when I kind of had a sense that I could do so, and it worked out pretty good. So thank you, everyone, for being patient and everything. I know... it's been a few weeks since I've been back here. Next Friday, by the way, we are going to be doing something pretty sweet after the show at noon. At around 1 o'clock-ish, after we're done wrapping up the show and get people over there, we're going to be doing a Discord Q&A on the Deco du Milieu Discord. Something in the range of a half hour, maybe a little bit longer, up to an hour. We'll kind of see how it goes. Focus is open-ended. In terms of a Discord Q&A, but open-ended about housing. We're having basically the people who work on the Lotro team directly with the housing system go over to the Deco du Milieu Discord and then do, like I say, half hour to an hour, something like that. Q&A specifically about housing. So that's pretty exciting. That's going to be really cool. We've not really done something like that. At least not as SSG, so I'm excited to kind of see how it goes, and hopefully it goes well, and we can do more of this kind of thing in the future. But hey, that's pretty sweet. So there you go. And I see Druid's Fire in chat over on Twitch has got an invite link to that Discord. You can get that link over on the Deco du Milieu Twitter page, something like that. I'm sure they've got it widely distributed out there. So. Well, it's nice to be back, everyone. How's it going? I know, how many Discords do we have to have, right? Yeah, but this one's pretty good, and this for a specific reason, and a good one. You're no longer cordless. Oh, gosh, that's terrible. Oh, the puns, the puns. All right, so what are the main things we've got going on right now? Inside of, I guess, the office, one of the big things that's happening today is we're doing a big preview of the Brawler over on the Palantir private preview server. The Palantir program is getting a chance to run around with their Brawlers today in a way that is more, I guess you could say, art and systems complete than has been available to date. And it's kind of a nice big preview there. So that's happening privately starting today, but that means that we're getting pretty close to having our first Bull Roar preview of the Brawler too. So I don't have a date to share with you. It's going to be a little while yet, that much I do know, but there is a process in place here, and that process has kind of really kicked off for realsies today over on Palantir. Although, like I say, they've been seeing some pieces of it for quite some time now. But this is our first big Brawler preview over on Palantir. So that's kind of exciting, and that's just sort of happening inside of the office, not so much externally. What have we got going on this weekend? We've got a 25% skirmish mark boost. That runs through Sunday. The following weekend will be Hobnanigans. That following week, somewhere around August 10th, we've got a patch in the works. That'll be 30.2. That'll include some things for, I believe, Farmers Fair, which kicks off that day as well, and some of the new itemization that'll be in Farmers Fair. Farmers Fair is not changing dramatically this time around, but it is getting some new stuff. And so that'll be in that patch, along with, I believe, some raid kind of fixes as necessary. I think there's still some tweaking to be done there, particularly on Tier 5. I will say, actually, as of the 10th, that Fall of Khazad-dûm raid gear will be available for Deed-gated Embers. That's set for Tuesday, August 10th. I believe generally a world property kicks in around 10 a.m. Eastern, right? So that would be the raid gear available for Embers. That'll be on Tuesday, August 10th. Not too far from then, we're going to be raising the level cap on Honor. So that'll be going up to, what, about 115 with the release of Mordor and Northern Mirkwood. No date to announce there, but that's happening next month is the current plan. And we're actually not just a few weeks after that, we're going to be updating Shadowfax, because, hey, Shadowfax is cooking along, is it not? So, for those of you on the fast train of Shadowfax, as it were, you'll be seeing Moria, not next month, but not too long after that. So, that's what we kind of have going on now. Otherwise, it's full speed development on Gundabad, and that's really where we are. I can't really talk more about where we are with Gundabad. I know that we'd love to do some kind of Q&A style preview with it. We did show off a few little kind of tease of an art asset nature with the most recent casual stroll with scenarios, so you could check that one out if you want to. Yeah, and so that's what we've got going on here, I guess, really today in terms of the news and what have you. I could mention this is the final week of our summer sales event, and the summer sales event is a weekly kind of special discount thing that we do in July. I brought the pun over this year. You want to know what the secret is? So I had some people that were like, summer sales, why are you spelling it S-A-I-L-S? You've done that in the past, but why is it not, there's not even sales there? It's an old pun that we did for years on and off for both games, but mostly for Dungeons & Dragons Online, and it always felt wrong to me that we excluded Lotro from the pun, so I just sort of did it this year and called it Summer Sales instead of Summer Sales, and I guess I caused some confusion with that, but I don't care, because I'm going to do it next year too. Well, I do care, but I think I'm still going to do it next year too. This is the final week of it, and through August 5th, you will get 30% off Black Steel Keys, 50% off the High Elf, and 75% off the Warden. So, if you don't have a Warden, and you think you might want one, probably not going to get any better than 75% off that thing. So, perhaps you might want to pick that up now through August 5th. Weekly coupon gets you a free universal solvent as well with the coupon code CRAFTEM, C-R-A-F-T-E-M. And then otherwise our weekly sale is store, carry, and share, which is like vault storage, shared storage, inventory slots, and the currency cap. So, what else was I going to mention? Farmers Fair, does start, let's check the 10th at 10 a.m., and that'll be running through August 30th, being shut off on the 31st at 3 a.m. So that's the schedule for Farmers Fair there. And I don't know if there was any other kind of news I was going to bring up or not. I think that pretty much covers what I have. So let me head on over to the questions real quick and see where we are. Am I one of the developers of the game? I'm the community manager for the game, so I deal with a lot of the public communications, release notes. There's a whole kind of bunch of hats I wear, but I'm not a direct coder or game content creator per se, that you would often think of as a developer. Are we thinking weeks or months for Brawler? Well, what we're thinking is Brawler is going to be with Gundabad, and odds are that you'll be able to play it somewhat ahead of Gundabad, perhaps tied to our pre-sale campaign that we might do for Gundabad here in the future. So, in terms of the timeline of that is the timeline, is we're working to get Brawler to the live game in time for Gundabad, and I'm just going to have to leave any further timing up in the air, but that's where we are, and Gundabad's next. So, in terms of weeks or months, any news about Mordor on Honor? Yes, James A. I did mention that in the chat a little bit ago. Perhaps I wasn't clear, but yes, that is in the works for August. That'll be happening where Honor is going to be getting Mordor. Any chance of large task carry-all available on Treebeard and Shadowfax? I will ask. I'm not sure about that one. I don't see why not. Alright, let's head over to YouTube. Will the legendary item revamp be before Gundabad or with it? So it's going to be, I believe, even a little bit beyond that. But we will see a big batch of legendary item work with Gundabad. So Gundabad is going to have a lot of legendary item work associated with it. And I believe we're not one and doneing this legendary item work, right? It's not going to be like, it's released, now we never have to deal with it again. I think it's going to be highly likely that the legendary item work releases with Gundabad and then gets iterated on over time in the coming updates beyond. So, but yeah, I think that will too be coming with Gundabad. Any chance of having a level disabler to a toggle like the horse so you would open your pocket slot? You know, that comes up regularly. Someday we might do that. Who knows? Who knows? Someday we might do that. I hear what you're saying. Making it a toggle would certainly be a convenience. My understanding is it's largely a specific engineering task that is not exactly tiny, but could be done. However, it's not really made it through the pile of work, given that you can just slot and unslot the item. I get that it doesn't give you your pocket slot, but to some extent you're choosing not to get XP anyway. That pocket slot's generally not going to make that much of a difference, although it does help, right? So, I don't know, we go back and forth on it. We'd like to do it someday. If it was just a quick flip of a switch, maybe it would have been done already. But hopefully someday we can get to that. Alright, so I don't really have a lot of plan for today's live stream. I can talk a little bit about what I've been up to over the past couple of weeks, but it's been everything from mostly vacation and then getting back from vacation, which takes about a week or so to sort of get back into the swing of things, and that's really what I've done so far. So I have not had a lot of time to do much else. And this weekend will be a very busy one for me as well. But then after this weekend, I'm going to have a little bit more free time. And one of the things I'm hoping to do here is really get some good Locher time in. Get caught up on a few things that I need to get caught up on. And spend some real time in game. Probably in the late afternoons throughout the evenings here in the coming weeks. So that's on my list of things to do. But I'm kind of in a place today where I'm really just sort of where I left off a few weeks ago, heading through Azanulbizar. So let's just kind of keep going with that. It was at the behest of Dane, my dear friend and king under the mountain, that I embarked upon writing a complete account of the Six War of the Dwarves and Orcs. If my own memory and experiences did not serve the tale, I enlisted the account of others. And groin. I've labored to construct this tale that the reader might see it through mine own eyes. There we go. King Thrain and his great reckoning host had made camp at Amdan, the ancient threshold of the kingdom of Khazad-dûm. What info on the level cap? Let me see what I can see there. What will the new level cap be on Honor, presumably, is what you're talking about when Mordor releases. The next update to the level cap will be 115. 115. 115 will be the next level cap increase on Honor. And that'll be happening in August when we release Northern Mirkwood / Mordor. However you kind of want to term it. Alright. Ermaeth, my friend, I was beginning to think we'd lost you on the Great Way. It's hard to believe we are here at last. It seems fitting the war should end where it began, don't you think? Attend the Council of the Seven. Alright. So my volume's low, and this sounds low to me, so let me see where I'm at in terms of volume. Okay, let's see if that's a little better.
According to my father, King Thrain intends to call the other houses to council this evening. What say you, Hermath? Will you join me?
Beyond the foothills of Xiraxigil, the dwarves of the Habanaki.
Alright, let me quick head over to chat. Oh yeah, I can talk about those job vacancies in just a little bit. That sounds good. What are our thoughts about the population of Treebeard compared to its older sibling Honor and twin Shadowfax? Well, we can't really get into the numbers. Ultimately, we half suspected that Treebeard might see more people than Shadowfax. The fact that Treebeard is more popular at the moment is not really all that surprising to us. That said, we're keeping an eye on both. We have no plans to change anything with Shadowfax. It's still going to get released on a quick schedule, and we may well see that the population there enjoys kind of running in at the start of the new thing, playing that content, and then going back to wherever they choose to go. So that's something that we're keeping an eye on. In terms of Honor, we have no plans to adjust our Legendary World of Honor, too. So we've got plenty of things to do yet with Honor. I mean, as we're just talking here, we're just getting to Mordor right now. So there's still a lot of activity yet to be had in Honor as well. So what are we doing about the three worlds is we're cooking along with all three. And that's the plan. So if, ultimately if we were to need to do something, we could. But we have no plans to, because things are cooking along just fine for all three of those worlds. With the understanding that some, are seeing bigger populations than others, and that is okay. Too long. Oh, do the chicken run one day on the stream. I would love to do that sometime. I need to get a little bit more of a tutorial on the mechanics of that, and definitely give that a shot. That would be fun. I've also said on the kind of flip side, I have wanted to do some raiding, so hopefully maybe we can target August for some kind of get-together and do that. I can pass along your suggestion to remove the cooldown on Sneak. I would say I mean, all of the future of all the worlds are secure, but yeah, Treebeard has been doing well, as people have noticed. I would say it is unlikely that we would be creating a system to allow you to transfer Lotro points between accounts. The amount of potential fraud and other issues it would raise seems unlikely that we would want to go that route. Despite the one benefit of being able to, like, share it with friends, family. August is the month of the chicken. It is. It is indeed. Yep. That's in the Beacon this week, but there's a thread on the forums where you can read more about that. Do we have plans to remove the instance lock on missions? The thought has come up to see if we can be more lenient with them. Nothing to announce today, but we do understand that people are running into that instance cap fairly regularly. That cap ultimately needs to stay in place because of the performance impact it has, but there may be some things that we can do that would help alleviate you running into the instance cap all the time with missions. There may be something we can do. We're looking into some possibilities. We shall meet the orcs in battle from Umdan to the very gates of Khazad-dûm. My sons and I will lead the vanguard, and the sons of Farron will march beside us. King Thrain. Not only the sons, but the father also. But of the Iron Hills, surely we will not be kept idle. Let me turn off the name just to make the dialogue a little easier to read for the stream. I can talk about my holiday maybe towards the end of the show. Most people don't really want to hear about it. When is the summer festival? The Farmers Fair, which is the combination of Midsummer and the Old Summers Festival, is August 10th and through August 30th. Yep. We shall not rest again till Azog. Baruch Kazad, Kazad Amenu. When will we see the legendary item revamp on Bullroar? That is a big question. That is a huge question, and one that we will hopefully have an answer for in the relatively near future. I can't break any news on it today, but yes, we have Brawler and we got legendary items, both coming to Bullroar in the not too distant future. And that's a lot to talk about, a lot to write up, a lot to show off. And a lot to iterate on, too. So it's going to be a busy couple of months here in the world of development for The Lord of the Rings Online. Absolutely. Let me pop on over to Facebook. I am running the 64-bit client. Yes. And otherwise, I think we're actually caught back up on that. Are we monitoring server status regarding lag and such? Yes. We are continuing to look into that. Absolutely. As soon as as soon as we have positive gains to make, we will announce them. I can't announce if Gundabad will have a level 130 Valar. I would say that, the plan is to offer probably similar things to what we've been doing, so,
I did not sleep as well as I'd have liked, but I hope you got some rest.
Odds are good there will be a Valor of some kind available, but we'll see, we'll see. Brawler will not be only for dwarves. No, Brawler it will have a wide range of races available to it. Do we plan to have the Farmers' Fair and Mordor release overlap, as the Thrang encounter for the Farmers' Fair, formerly Summerfest event, includes rewards that are level 115 specific? Interesting you bring that up, James I. That would make some sense, wouldn't it? Yeah. There was a question I wanted to mention I saw earlier, and I'm trying to see if I can find it now. I can't find it, unfortunately. There was a question I thought... I saw a couple of chats about... comments, rather, about weapon swapping. There was a leak while I was on vacation of some LI information from Palantir. And the word did kind of leak out that we are looking to address weapon swapping. We'll have more to say about that in the near future as we preview the legendary item update and other things. But it is our intention to curb the practice of frequently swapping weapons as a game mechanic. That's not to say it's going to go away, but we are going to curb some of the heavy nature of what is currently being done, and then make adjustments to hopefully counteract some of the reasons why people are engaging in that practice to begin with. So we'll have a lot more to say about that in the relatively near future. But I know that there's a lot of kind of concerns like, are they not? We are. But it's not going to necessarily be as extreme as, some of what you've read related to the leak. So that's about all I can really say about it today. I did want to acknowledge that, we're not blind to the fact that some of you have seen that leak, saw a couple of words and got pretty concerned about it. But I would say it's too early yet to talk about specifically what's going to happen, but we do have a plan to curb the amount of constant weapon swapping that is being done in-game, and address some of the reasoning for why that's being done at the same time. I would say about PVMP that we did have a meeting this week about it. There is some work that's going to be done related to itemization and a few other things in the relatively near future. I don't know if that's going to be for Gundabad or post-Gundabad. I know that there's some shared resources going on that have to be coordinated for it to get completed. So I don't know if that's going to be done for Gundabad, but there is active conversations about addressing some of the PVMP current imbalance with adjustments to current and or new itemization, among some other things. So I think, in addition to Brawler and Legendary items, some of our PVMP heavy folks will be interested to check out future bull roars as well. Like I say, I think it may end up being post Gundabad now at this point, but that'll be happening as well. So that is on our radar of things that we are actively working on. We have someone like actively doing some work related to PVMP, itemization of PVMP and beyond. As we heard at the council last night, King Thrain has ordered the 7 houses to aid upon the fringes of the Dale. Among them, I'm not going to try to mangle all that. Once it is reclaimed from the orcs, I fear they shall have to contend with the trolls we spied from afar. Others have a harder path to take. They can break through the orcish outpost, blocking the way to Tark Shathur. They intend to claim Esmergathal and set siege to Aradzak. It is far too much indeed to ask of my one of the 7 houses, but together we will triumph by Durin's beard. Azog will not live to see the morrow. All right. Really? Alright. Well, let me take a quick look here at chat. Sorry, Chromite. I don't claim to be a linguist of basically barely English. I can barely speak English, much less anything else. I'm doing the best I can. But if you're coming to me for Dwarven, proper Tolkien pronunciations, you're coming to the wrong place. Yep. I don't try to take it for granted, however. I do try, kind of. But I also need to recognize that that's just not my forte. So, sorry. Sorry for occasionally mangling things terribly. Okay. I don't know about the Appaloosa or Pinto horses. That sounds like something that we should be able to do. I don't know why, we'll have to pass that suggestion along. Can I say anything about the recent gold spammer problem? Has it been fixed? It has not been fixed. We are working on it. We have got some things that we are doing to help, but, no. Unfortunately, we are not there yet. And we are continuing to work on it. I don't know what else I could really say there, other than it's a pain in the butt, and, we feel your pain, and, are working on it. Actually, wait a second. What am I doing? Should probably... Let's see, do I have any tasks I can just kind of quick drop? Yeah. Cancel. Cancel.
I heard that you are heading east towards Kimil Nala.
Okay.
Archers are hindering our attack.
Gathering supplies.
We shall now strike the source.
There we are. There's my stable master. Alright. guess I'm just gonna have to travel. That's fine. We will travel to Zirakazar. Zirakazar, I believe. Actually, I did want to... Let's see, which one do I want to get rid of? How about... Move from tracker, and then put that one on the tracker. That one, I can get rid of the tracker as well, and then why don't we add that one as well. Yep, so that'll be up there. And what happened to my Zirakazar one? There we go. So, why do I not... Let's get rid of this one as well. Add that to the tracker. This is just for my own benefit. What can I say? I need a guide. I like a guide. Let me get over on my boar mount. One of the things in particular that we're looking into are the reports that the gold spammers have been able to, quote, bypass the ignore lists. We've spent quite a bit of time looking into this one, and what we've discovered is that they are, through a bit of a loophole that I don't want to talk too much about, because the more I talk about it, right, they can hear this stuff too, and next thing, I'm making the problem worse, not better. That said, we have identified how it's being done, and we are working to correct it. It is not being done through the use of any kind of elevated permission set. It is rather a loophole that they've been able to discover to continue spamming you fine folks, even after they've been added to your report as harassment ignore list. So we have a fix for that in the near future. So I could say that that will help. Meanwhile, we're continuing to play whack-a-mole as we have to on the spammers, and it's something that we are taking seriously, and we do apologize that you are running into some issues right now. Like I said, I kind of have to be careful what I say out loud, so I'm going to. All right. I do know. Sherwinicus over on YouTube says, would we ever consider doing server transfers from Treebeard to Shadowfax? No. Nor Shadowfax to Treebeard. I can't imagine a world where we would suddenly make the point of the server be that you could do a certain thing and then benefit from it on another server. Now, I think that case is less so on Treebeard to Shadowfax, because the only real benefit you're getting might be more time spent grinding items or something like that. But I just, as a general rule, I would not expect to see server transfers between Shadowfax and Treebeard, or vice versa. If you change your mind, you might just have to start fresh on the other world. I would love to see us expand that quest limit as well. I'm kind of the sort of person who just picks up everything, and so Lotro is for me sometimes a thing where I run into that, quest / task limit, perhaps a little more oft than I wish. Speaking of which, I'm actually going to have to drop a few more. Alright, good enough for now.
Some of our brethren have not returned from scouting.
I come to aid the Abenaka at Zarakazar. Ha! I'm sure I can find some use for you. We have made slow but steady inroads against our foes on the mountain, and no small part due to King Jagan's guidance. For one who is so young, who has lost so much, she has led her house admirably. Need to deal with the trolls. Hey! That's my job! I could do that. I do that a lot. Thankfully, I didn't have to do much of that this weekend. Or while I was on vacation here. Everyone did a fantastic job being well behaved. It was really lovely to see. But okay, I am missing a couple peeps. So where are you, peeps? There you go.
How might I be of service?
Come to aid you. Is that so? You must forgive me. That may have been more helpful. While the others of my father's line still drew breath, I do not begrudge you your king's misjudgments. But the Tyranidir have learned to be wary. You see some crude war drums. Again, we've got a troll problem. King Agni is distracted. I'm not used to such subtle tactics, Longbeard. I expect Drogar to be more alike in mind to me and the Landorim. But she and Jagan plot a more careful climb up Zirik Sigil. As long as I might take a few trophy bones of my own, I will command the Landorim to aid them as best we can. I tire of sitting behind these walls, Longbeard. You and your iron folk surely know this pain. It is not our way, and the battle calls to us. All right. Oh, those are the missing scouts. Okay. Well, why don't I head off down... Oh, where's my cursor? There we go. Is there a way to subscribe to the beacon to get an email for it? No, but that is something we've considered over the years and would like to do someday. Kind of a newsletter specific to the beacon. The beacon does really well in newsletter form. There have been times over the years where we sent the beacon out as part of the, I guess at that point, Salesforce newsletters or whatever. You know, through the kind of official newsletter system. And they were among the highest open things that they had sent out at that time. So, there does seem to be an appetite for having the weekly newsletter sent as an email. maybe we have also in recent weeks started ramping up a new email service that is sort of optimized for 2021, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot you can get into in terms of how to send emails to everybody who signed up for your MMO. But we've relaunched kind of a service there that we're working on. And I would expect to see something with Gundabad. This is for both games. So we've been doing stuff also on the other side. And the thought of adding the beacon or a beacon-like thing to it is something that has actually come up quite a bit recently. So we'll have to see. Perhaps something we could do something like that with. So, we get the question about what about the Amazon TV show and what's going to mean for Lotro a lot. There's not really anything I can say about that. They are their own operation. They really don't have anything to do with us. We have nothing to do with them, really. And we're each doing our own thing. Now, is there a potential that we could maybe take advantage of something there? Maybe, but, I think that it would be indirect if we were to do something like that. But we don't actually have any kind of secret knowledge about that new Amazon show, because it has nothing to do with us. Separate entities, separate licenses, separate license, whatever. There's all sorts of stuff that makes it different. But, hey, to the extent that things in the Lord of the Rings world tend to bring attention to our game, which totally happens, then maybe there will be opportunity. Who knows? But definitely not some kind of official partnership or something like that. If that ever happened, that would be awesome, but unlikely. There's one of my scouts. I have seen the bug on Chasing Darkness. I believe that a fix for that should be in the works, but I am going off my head on that one. Rather than I'd have to look it up and see where we are on that. So I don't have anything great to tell you today other than, hey, I remember seeing that in a bug report this most recent week or so, so maybe there's something we can do there. There's no change in our license, nor will there be, that we can foresee, so... Any of that old kind of stuff about, oh my god, what about their license? It never really was an issue to begin with. And it, as far as I can tell and hope, it never will be. Someone had asked about what's going to happen when our license expires. It's like, well, it's not going to expire. Oh. That's what I get for not paying attention to my health until too late. There we go. Absorbed. Okay, let me try moving over to this guy. This guy seems to be kind of wiping my butt. Maybe I should do something about that, huh? Can I? No. That's dumb. That was entirely my fault. That was just me being dumb, unfortunately. Now I'm all the way back there. Alright, well, I will work on these folks on my way over there then. And be smarter about what I'm doing. And look about where I'm going. And I'm just going to spend Mithril to take care of that. Rather than go someplace. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. I was hoping to be a little better than that. Sorry, folks. I failed you. And I failed Middle-earth. Okay. Yeah, I know I need to pick up the VIP things too. I just haven't really gotten around there. So... let's take the back road here. Oh, hey, there's some wargs I can take care of for that other one. So let us, shall we? Alright. I don't know about our immediate first X then Y class plans, so I'm hesitant to want to talk about that. You know, the main focus of the people who would be doing a lot of class balance work is, at the moment, very much focused on legendary items, among some other things. So, you know, class balance has been more focused on the legendary item system and how it relates to class balance than perhaps direct, you know, say trait line type work, something like that. But it is a never-ending, ongoing process, and I would expect to see work done on many, if not most, of your concerns when we can. I would like to see the VIP benefits auto-granted. I think there's having to store all that information in character data adds a lot of bloat to character data. And so that's, I think, the main reason why it's done the way it is. It's not to say it couldn't be refactored or something to perhaps address that issue, but as it stands, the more convenient way to bring it to the game was deemed to be this NPC. And so I think we're going to have that with us for a while here. Any plans on doing a hot tub stream? No. No plans, and hopefully, by God, it'll never happen. No, that will not be an extra life stretch goal. I have been thinking about extra life this year. So, we'll see. I've got some thoughts about what we might be able to do this year, but I'm not sure. If I unbanned you from the forums, you could make a champ build and play video for you. Okay. But maybe not. I know I get a lot of crap on my character, but I mean, in general, I focus on Battle Frenzy here. I use these for my openers. Then usually for my second tier, I do like Fury of Blades and Exchange of Blows. I exchange of blows because I get extra melee damage. I try to keep Great Cleave sort of semi-active when I can. I use Raging Blade a lot, and I use Feral Strikes and Hamstring a lot. So those are the main things I do. In terms of the layout, all I could say about the layout is my brain is weird, but it makes sense to me. I like having all my stuff kind of in a lower right hand side, and then deal with it that way. And otherwise, I don't really know what else to tell you, man. I keep these riposts going, because they're always pretty good. Then I've got my breaker here for clobber if I need to. And I've got my healing things a little bit if I can. Gosh darn it. I'm not going to retreat. I'm just going to do it. All right. Let's see. Not quite sure what else I can talk about here. I think I've kind of covered the latest news and everything, so I think we're just gonna... Oh, it's actually 1 o'clock here, too, so maybe I should wrap things up. I've got some busy plans for the weekend. Hope your weekend has got some good plans as well. And yeah, I guess we'll just sort of roll in here and then call it. Yeah. I could just mention on the vacation, it went fine. Spent plenty of time with family and friends and visiting relatives for the first time since pre-COVID. And that went nice. It was nice to be back in Minnesota for a while. Like my state of Minnesota. Love you folks there. And love all you here as well who watch Court of the Rings on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be back next week. We should be on a pretty regular schedule here for Fridays. And on top of that, I think in the relatively near future, I'm going to start trying to head back to the office for these Wednesday and Friday noon streams. Get back to the old computers and the old backdrops and the nice fat bandwidth that it provides. So thank you so much for being here, everyone. Hope you have a great time in the Lord of the Rings Online, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.